PSIJNKI is one of those cars in the scene whose reputation precedes it. We had never met the builder and owner of the car, Josh, nor had we ever been in the car. In fact, we'd never even personally looked over it, but we sure as hell knew about the car. Rumours of its power, its exploits on the street, and obviously what we saw at Power Cruise Queensland gave the car a larger-than-life reputation.
The boys at LMCT Plus bought the car, as you know, the whole world knows. And they were doing a promo video for the car. It threw a leg out of bed. The boys at LMCT Plus, Troy, Candy, all them boys gave us a call and they go, look, we need an engine done for this car in this time frame. We had just a little over 1 week to get this towed from Queensland over here, running gear out, new engine combo, back in the car, tuned and back to Queensland, just over a week. From throwing the rod out of the block, obviously the block is cranky's gone, cylinder head was damaged but salvageable. It bent the valves, so we had to basically redo the head. We use the same head, so the only thing in that head is the same as the porting. All new valves, we had to change camshafts, you name it. So basically, it's a whole new setup. From the sump up, it's all different. So the usual stuff we do with this kind of horsepower is we sonic test them. We pick the best block that we can find. We 3/4 grout it, just to give it that strength. And then we went with the billet caps, clearance to our specs, all the rest of the good stuff in it. All the nitto rotating assembly. So it's got a nitto D-stroke 3.8, rods, pistons, and everything else is Empire Elite Performance parts. The oil pump is a horsepower junkie. We use them in all our big horsepower engines. Empire Elite timing chain, mechanical timing chain tensioner, billet sprocket, our own grind camshafts, gears, you name it, it's all in there, everything. The whole catalogue of Empire is in that engine. All the bolt-on stuff is still the same, so same turbo manifold, inlet, everything's identical, still the same. The only thing we'd done was a few little cosmetic stuff. We gave it our own little touch. Cosmetically outside, like everything physically is still the same. It's got a 2-speed power glide with a reed casing, custom converter, is full Gazza Brothers rear end with a 9-inch obviously, billet, center. It's got all the ingredients to run a 7-second pass this thing all day long. It's a serious car. With the 4 litres, we tend to rev them to around about 8.5. That's where their happy place is. We decided to go with a D-stroke so we can give it some RPM. This engine here, this particular combo, we can rev it to 10,000 RPM with a few little extra tweaks, but that's why we go the D-stroke. So what it does is it moves our torque where we want it, going with the D-stroke. So moving the torque where we want it and going the RPM, that's where the horsepower is. Anything we make that sort of horsepower, it's nothing but nitto, that's it. Yes, the car came to us, the ECU was locked. Putting a new combo in it meant we had to tune it to suit our new specs. So it was a little bit of a headache. Props to whoever done it before, but we're not the type to ring up and go, oh, we want the codes so we can get in there and touch up your tune. So it was basically set the whole thing up from scratch all over again. So all the AVIs, DPOs, we had to do it from scratch and set this tune up from the get-go. The stickers on the side represent us at the moment because we basically put our setup in it, our combination, our tune. We've changed a lot of stuff in it. We're making that horsepower at the moment now. That's without any nitrous adder at all at the moment too. So whoever wants to buy, whoever wins the car, mate, this thing can go really fast. We've made 1,808 horsepower, I think it was. And that was at 47 pounds of boost. And like I said, no nitrous. We're not going to leave it at that for the winner, obviously. The tune will be there, but obviously whoever wins it, they'll have to call us. We'll have to unlock that tune for them because I don't think it's a good thing giving away 1,800 horsepower to, could be a 21-year-old or a 19-year-old that wins the car, we don't know. So we're going to keep it safe. So we've got probably like 4 boost settings. So the lower boost setting will probably make around about 1,000 horsepower. That's the lowest. and then onwards up from there. That's minimum. That gate pressure is 1,000 horsepower. So yeah, it's a serious combo.
It's just the noise and the chute that really stops it from being street driven.